A beautiful homemade artisan bread with a soft interior and a light, crispy crust has never been this easy to make. It is perfect for a lazy lunch served with butter. Hi, friends! Welcome to the Practical Housewife, where I will be helping you to transform your meals into a luxurious experience your family and friends can enjoy. I am your favorite housewife and host, Yolan Wallace. Let's get started. To make our artisan bread, we will need instant dry yeast, bread flour, water, and salt. To begin making our bread, we are first going to be adding our dry ingredients to our mixer. And first we will add 3¼ cups of bread flour. So for these cups, you want to level them out and make sure you're using the exact measurement. So we have 3½, 3¼ one, go ahead and level it. Two, three, and a quarter. To our bread flour, we are going to be adding 2 tablespoons of dry yeast, and the equivalent, which is 2 tablespoons of coarse salt. Before we add our final ingredients, which is the water, I am going to just mix our dry ingredients together. It's now time to add our final ingredient, and this is, I wouldn't want to say warm water, but close to room temperature. You want it to be a little bit warm, but as close to room temperature as possible. So we are adding 1½ cups of water. And I'm not estimating this time, so I am using the proper measuring tools. It is time to mix our dough, and I will start off slowly. I'm going to use my spatula and scrape the sides. At first, your dough will look a little bit dry, but give it enough time to work. And you might be tempted to add more water, but don't. I believe our dough is done, and everything comes up perfectly. Here we have our dough. And today I am using my teak wood to let my dough rest for 2 to 3 hours. So I'm giving it a gentle fold into a nice ball. And then we are going to allow it to sit for 2 to 3 hours at room temperature, and then another 5 hours in the refrigerator. Currently, it is now 5 a.m. And this should double in size. You want to just cover it with a cloth. 2 to 3 hours, we will be back to see what our dough looks like. We are now at the 3-hour mark, and it is now time to look at our dough. And the beauty about artisan bread is that you are able to bake it now after letting it sit for 3 hours, or you can develop the flavors even more and let it sit for longer. Wow, our dough has doubled in size, and this was the perfect container to put it in. So for me, I will allow it to sit for another 3 hours because I want the flavors in the artisan bread to develop even more. And let's give it a touch. You can see it's nice and poofy, beautiful, and it has a little bit of bounce to it. So I will cover it and allow it to sit for another 3 hours, and it is now 9 a.m. So I started this process, sometime after 5, the baking process. So let's put this in the refrigerator. Our dough has now been sitting in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and I took it out ahead of time to let it rest on the counter to get back to slightly room temperature for about 20 minutes or so. So if you're just taking out your dough from the refrigerator, you want to let it rest for 20 minutes. Before I take my dough out, I am going to lightly flour the surface of my counter, obviously a clean counter. Our dough looks beautiful, and I am going to give it a nudge. This smells so good. This smells so good, and it isn't even baked as yet. Okay, let me use my hand. This is a little bit deep. Oh my gosh. Now I understand why they say to let it sit for the additional time, because initially I did not smell the dough. It smells like it has already baked. So I'm going to get my cutter and estimate and cut my dough in half. So today I am making 2 loaves. And I'm just going to stretch it a little bit just to form it, not to play with it too much. I'm just, as I said, I'm stretching it. And this recipe, I believe, makes 2 dough, or if you are doing a ball, nice big ball. So you can tell where the stretch kind of stops naturally, and that's what I'm doing. I am now going to transfer my dough to this baking sheet, and I'm just gonna lightly base it with some flour and gently add my bread. Look how beautiful that looks. So now that our bread or dough is nice and ready for the oven, I am going to use my bread lame and score it about 2 inches deep. And you can give it any shape that you like. I am just going in a curved way. Do a cut at the end. 1.5 to 2 inches deep. And I'll go the other way. You can create any pattern that you want. Now, go ahead and do that. Now that I'm done scoring the bread, I will use my brush with some flour and lightly brush some extra flour onto my bread. And this will give it a rustic look at the end. And I'm not doing it all over, just in different, sections of it to give it a rustic look. Our bread is ready for the oven, and I'm going to allow it to sit while I preheat my oven to 475 degrees. And we will be baking this for 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown. Our oven is now preheated, and I will be putting the bread on the top shelf away from the fire. It's time to let it bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. It is time to take our bread out the oven. It is done, and it looks so good. Look at our loaves. This looks so good. I am so excited. So I had to give it the extra 5 minutes. Let me move it onto my wire rack. So this is our artisan bread. It has browned beautifully, and as I said before, I gave it the extra 5 minutes to come to this beautiful color. Now it is crunchy on the outside, but you can see soft on the inside. I will let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then we will plate our bread. And today we are serving it with my garlic herb butter that I made, and this will be so good, so good. So I see you back in 10 minutes. Our bread has now been sitting for 10 minutes, and I will remove it from our wire rack. Now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, and it's the cut. Let me turn it this way. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Beautifully baked. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I'll make a few slices. The outside, you can hear the crunch, and the inside is perfectly baked. Soft. And as I said, I will be serving this with my homemade garlic herb butter. Let's look at that. To plate our bread today, we are using this handmade woven basket. And I'll add this cloth for texture. I'll just set it in like this. I'm going to rest my bread like this, give it some height, do this, add these slices here. Slices, give it some cushion, to give it that feel. This, and to give it a pop of color, and these are herbs that I used in my garlic herb butter. I'm adding some rosemary and some parsley. Smells so good. I wish you were here to smell it. That's our presentation today. To serve with our bread today, I am serving it with this homemade garlic butter. It's not as solid right now, but that's okay. To the center of my garlic butter, I'll just add this parsley right here. Now for the moment you've probably been waiting for, a taste test. Look at how springy it is. We are going to add some butter to our bread. So I'll probably add it beside the butter. And there we have it, friends. Our artisan bread is done. Soft on the inside and crispy on the outside. Perfection in every bite. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or both, please let me know by liking this video and commenting homemade bread. See you next time.